controversy that has erupted over the teaser of a new film. Adipurush, a Hindu mythological film which is going to be released in 2023, has stirred controversy after its trailer was released just a few days ago. Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra has slammed the illustration of Lord Hanuman, saying that his clothing is depicted incorrectly and that is objectionable. It actually insults the faith of Hindus, is what the MP Home Minister has come out and said. In fact, he went on to warn the movie's director of legal action if these objectionable scenes were not removed. Netizens have also been trolling this particular teaser, the movie which features Saif Ali Khan and South actor Prabhas. The portrayal of Ravan as well is something that objection has been taken to. Ravan looks more like a Mughal marauder or a Mughal invader, is what many netizens also came out and said.
मैंने उसका ट्रेलर देखा है और सच में उसमें आपत्तिजनक दृश्य है। हमारी आस्था के जो केंद्र बिंदु हैं उनको जिस रूप में दिखाया गया है वो अच्छा नहीं है। अब हनुमान जी कई अंग वस्त्र जो हैं चमड़े के उसमें दिखाए गए हैं और मैं इसके जो निर्माता हैं ओम राउत जी, उनको पत्र लिख रहा हूं कि इस तरह की जितने भी दृश्य हैं इन्हें वो हटाएं। अगर वो नहीं हटाते हैं तो उसके बाद में हम कानूनी कार्रवाई पर विचार करेंगे।
My colleague Shilpa and Manoj join us on this broadcast. Shilpa, coming to you first, as far as controversies over films are concerned, there is no dearth of them. We've seen fringe elements take offense to several such films or representations in several such films. Brahmastra was the latest one as well. We've seen the kind of uproar that we saw a couple of years ago over Padmavat. It seems like a new film is now mired in the same old controversy.
Well, yes, especially surprising because Adipurush seemed like the kind of film that would get a lot of support from those that are being referred to as a boycott gang currently. But it was panned by everybody for VFX that were considered very poor in quality. Also for a trailer and teaser that was very underwhelming. And now it seems there are some objections to the depictions of the gods in the film. Because the makers seem to have overlooked the fact that Hanuman was wearing leather attire, and as we know, and as you're mentioning, anything can really set off objections, and they can bring forth a slew of outrage, which could snowball into an FIR or more. For now, we see the MP Home Minister Narottam Mishra ask for the removal of these scenes, which he's called objectionable. And he says if the makers don't comply with that, then he's going to take further action. But even with this appeasement, it perhaps looks like there could be more controversies in the fray because people are also taking objection to the way Ravan is depicted in the film, because while it is a subjective matter, it was played by actor Saif Ali Khan. They're also taking objection to the fact that they believe it is not in line with a certain kind of depiction that they imagined in their head. So it looks like controversies are just starting off for Adipurush, which unfortunately has also been critically panned.
Right, so it's an adaptation of Ramayana, and the creative liberties that have been taken have not gone down too well as far as certain depictions are concerned. Do stay on with me, because it's not just netizens trolling, or it's not just what is being called as bad VFX that is being panned online. There is politics that has erupted over it as well. And Manoj, my colleague, also joins us on this broadcast. Manoj, it's not just about raising objections. The MP Home Minister actually went one step ahead and warned of legal action if the objectionable scenes were not deleted.
Yeah, you are right, because he is writing a letter to the producer, Om Raut, and he's saying that if the corrective measure is not taken, if these so-called objective scenes and this wrong portrayal of Lord Hanuman, if it is not replaced or removed, then he would even go to the extent of filing a proper FIR in Madhya Pradesh, because what he is saying that Lord Hanuman, the Lord has been depicted in a wrong manner, which is hurting Hindu sentiments, and that is why Congress is also raising objection. Now, Congress is now saying that Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra, rather than focusing on law and order situation in the state, what Congress is asking, demanding, and you can say politically they are attacking the Home Minister, that he should be made member of the Censor Board of India, because he keeps on passing such comments on any new film. But in this case, Narottam Mishra is saying that he has already seen the trailer, and on the basis of watching the trailer, he can safely say that Lord Hanuman has not been depicted in a proper manner in this trailer, and that is why corrective measures should be taken by the producer and the director.
Absolutely. Corrective measures need to be taken, but who's to say these are corrective measures, Shilpa, isn't it? Because the filmmakers, like on many occasions in the past as well, have spoken of how this is an adaptation of a certain text, an adaptation of a certain story, and which is why there has to be some amount of creative license that needs to be given to filmmakers.
Well, yes, as you're saying, this is an adaptation of Ramayana, and they have tried to bring forth in a new manner. And they say it's a new way of retelling the story. The filmmakers on their part were very confident that this is a trailer that would be largely appreciated, because it's also a very expensive film, mounted almost on a budget of 500 rumored crores. So it's a lot riding at stake, and they've roped in Prabhas, who is considered the new pan-Indian hero after the success of the Bahubali films. But apart from the VFX which are being panned and the depictions which are being panned, it looks like the fact that Hanuman was in leather attire seems to be the main contention of Narottam Mishra, MP's Home Minister. But even once that is rectified, the other controversy erupting is over Saif Ali Khan playing Ravan, which many have seemed to have objected to, and it's raking up past controversies as well. It remains to be seen if the makers will be countering this or addressing this with a statement from their side. But for now, the makers have chosen to not come out with a statement, and they're just waiting to see how this controversy, if it's going to die down a natural death, as it did in some cases. Perhaps there were a few controversies of Brahmastra, which did die a natural death, but that did face the ire of the boycott gang for other reasons. For now, the makers of Adipurush have adopted a wait-and-watch technique.
Right, Manoj and Shilpa, thank you so much for putting that in perspective for us and getting us the very latest. But this has once again triggered the debate of whether or not there is any creative license left in this country, or are we getting too touchy? And I would like to ask that question to an actress and a model who joins us on this broadcast, Manvi Taneja. Are we as a country becoming too touchy? Are we as a country, as audiences, becoming too touchy? Do we raise objections which are not valid, or are filmmakers taking the liberties that they shouldn't?
See, we should respect every religion, and everyone has a right to freedom of expression and speech. But I would like to say one more thing also, that after looking the trailer for 1 minute 40 seconds, we cannot judge it. We cannot come to a conclusion and make a perception that that it might go wrong. The movie should go wrong, because we should never judge a book by its own cover. As per my understanding, the movie is directed by Om Rao, and he puts lots and lots of research before directing a movie. If you go a few years back, when he was working on Tanaji, he made sure that he went into depth regarding the Rajput culture, the kind of weapons Rajput uses, and the way it should be picturization. So he took everything into consideration. And if you talk about Ramayana has many versions. If you try to compare it with the Ramayana, which was released 40 years back, Valmiki's Ramayana, there is no comparison, because there are many versions. One is Valmiki, other is Tulsidas, then we have Jaina, Mita. So there are many versions, and every version has a different point of view, different kind of direction and scripts and all. And if you talk about this Ramayana, because everything changes. 40 years back and today, people have a different change, different taste, different you can say costumes. So that's why the costumes here in Ramayana, you can see different, and the script would be little different also. So
right.
I would say that before getting it released, before watching the film, you cannot come to a conclusion. There are many aspects. Some people are saying that the trailer is not up to mark. whether
Sure, as
I
long
can
as
see you.
the criticism is about the creativity of the film. Many found Prabhas's look very underwhelming. They were not very happy as far as, like you said, the look of the film was concerned. But the objections that are being raised here are far deeper than that. The allegation that is being made is that this is misrepresentation of India's culture, of the mythology. You cannot put out wrong facts, so you cannot misrepresent an important part of our culture, because such kind of movies are watched by impressionable minds, and perhaps this is the only takeaway they'll take out once they watch the movie.
Here I would say it is a selective approach, selective watching about the trailer, because they are not seeing the 3 layers of vibhuti which the Ravan has put on his forehead. People are not seeing the shriveling behind him, and he's also having 10 heads. So you are just having a selective approach, selective listening, selective hearing. So I think people should see the other picture also, and by watching his face reaction, you cannot presume and predict and come to a conclusion that it is regarding a particular religion. So you need to have a broader picture. You need to have a broader thought about it. Let the movie come out. Let the people watch the film. If it is objectionable, and I am very open. If you find it objectionable, go through the right book. Go and file a complaint. Let the censor board handle it, because the movie is not released. It's just the trailer, and if the movie is passed by the censor board, then I think it's fine. And then also, if some people have objection, you can go, you can raise your voice. There are certain departments where you can file a complaint if you think.
Right, and which is what the Madhya Pradesh Home Minister at least was trying to say, that we'll take the legal route, which is his right to do so. If, those certain scenes that they find objectionable are not deleted before the film actually comes out next year. But do you think this is not just about this one film? It's about the bigger problem that some would say we face today, because there are these people who raise objections, especially people who hold positions of power like the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh. When they raise these kind of objections, when they threaten of legal action, if certain cuts are not made, if certain changes are not made, then you're infringing upon the right of an individual's not just creative freedom, but freedom of speech as well, something that the Constitution guarantees them. And especially as far as the film fraternity is concerned, some would see this as an exercise by certain parties, political parties, certain political representatives, as trying to push their agenda and trying to push out the other voice.
Here I would like to say that some people, some community on Twitter or social media have become so sensitive that they try to always target Bollywood. Bollywood have become a soft target. If you don't find anything, first of all, they try to find a reason that why we should boycott a film, and if you don't find a reason, they try to dig up the videos from YouTube, 10 to 12 years old videos. And now here, when you have nothing to dig up, then you try to say that the image was portrayed in a different manner. But what if, I need to ask a question, that what if he doesn't, if Saif was offered a role of Ram, what would be their reaction? They would have literally not accepted it. Now he's playing the role of a Ravan, then also you have a problem. So they have a problem with Bollywood, and they just try to dig up things just to boycott the movie. But as for my perspective, if you try to trend a hashtag boycott Bollywood, or a movie or a film star, if a movie has a content, if people like watching it, nobody can stop making it a hit film.
Right.
But yes, after COVID, the pattern has changed. That's why the film industry is not making up that much of revenue which used to make it before the COVID. So there is some drop after the COVID. But yes, if you have a content, if the movie is good, the direction is good, everything is up to the mark, nobody can let the movie down.
Right, let the viewer decide, and that's perhaps how it should be. But the debate is open and the jury is out on that. But for the moment, Ms. Taneja, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. We have to shift focus to some breaking news coming in.